hello and welcome back. It's your boy Hank Hackerson at Hank Hacks Hackers, your favorite network and system attacker. And in today's video, we're going to be doing the network security challenge, which basically means that we're going to be attacking this machine right here that's about to show up right here, this IP address. And this is a part of the network security module inside of the junior pen tester pathway of TryHackMe. And this is the very last room inside of this module, and right after this we're going to move into the vulnerability research module. So this is kind of to top it off, to cap it off. We're going to use all of the stuff that we learned in this particular module to accomplish this task. So very excited about it. This should be fun. Let's get into it. The exercises in this room and everything that we've learned in this module are directly applicable to the pen test plus pathway and the ethical hacker pathway, and everything that you would be learning for those examinations or for your day-to-day jobs for, a penetration tester or an ethical hacker. So if you're studying for those certifications, or if you're gonna do that as your job, I do recommend that you like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you get notified the next time that a video comes out in this pathway. And this is literally, I do the very best that I can to explain all of these things in great detail so that not only you can learn, as well as I can kind of reaffirm a lot of the information that I have learned, and then we can grow together. So I do answer all the comments that come in, and I give detailed responses to any of the questions that are asked in the comments. So I do welcome you to also ask as many questions as you can in the comments, or just drop a comment and say hi, whatever. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will definitely do my best to answer those questions for you so that you have every bit of information that you need to progress down this path and become the best version of an ethical hacker that you can be. So we're going to turn you into the most powerful hacker that we possibly can. That's the goal here. That being said, let's jump into this particular room and let's just look at the introduction real quick. The introduction is very simple. We're just going to be using everything that we learned in network security, in this network security module to answer the questions. We're going to be using Nmap, Telnet, and Hydra to try to answer all the questions. So very basic, very straightforward. Let's look at the questions and see what we got to do. It's a good number of questions here. So the first one is, what is the highest port number being open less than 10,000? And then there's an open port outside of the common 1,000 ports. It is above 10,000. What is it? How many TCP ports are open? What is the flag hidden at the server header in the HTTP server? What is the flag hidden in the SSH server? We have FTP server listening on a non-standard port. What is the version of the FTP server? And we learned two usernames using social engineering, Eddie and Quinn. What is the flag hidden in one of these two accounts and accessible via FTP? And browsing to this web server displays a small challenge that will give you a flag once you solve it. What is that flag? So pretty good stuff, pretty simple stuff. The first few are going to be some Nmap scans, and it seems that we're going to be looking at the common ports, not just the common ports. We're going to be looking at above 10,000 ports. So I feel like the Nmap scan is going to take a bit of time for me to run it. So I'm gonna run between, I'm gonna do between 0 and 20,000, I guess. We'll see what we get. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the command that I have put together for my Nmap scan. Because I am doing all of the ports by doing -p-, I want it to be pretty quick, so we did T4. The maximum that it can do is T5. So T4 should make it a little bit quicker. The default, I believe, is T1 or T2 to make it super slow and just like cover all of its bases. So I want this to be a little bit quicker because we're scanning all of the 65,000 ports. SC is to run the default scripts that are available in Nmap, just to pull some basic information if we can find some vulnerabilities or something like that. It's pretty useful when you run that. SV is to find the version of whatever service is running on whatever port. And then of course we have dash p dash, which is all the ports, and then T4, and then the minimum rate. This is something that I found just from Googling a little bit. This is the minimum rate of data, I believe, that's being passed through or that's being pulled from to kind of make it a little bit more uh, comprehensive, I guess could be the word. It'll be like a more full response. This is the specific IP address that we're using, and then VV, which is very verbose, and this is something that we just want to do so that we can see the results on the screen as the scan is happening, so we can get as much detailed information as we can while everything is going on. So I'm going to press enter on this. I don't know how long this is going to take. Hopefully it won't take too long, but I'm going to press enter on this and see what we get. So here we go. Okay, it didn't take that long. That was pretty good. So we have some good information here. Let's see what we can find. A lot of good stuff. So we got to start at the top. So very good. We got port 22. Oh, here we go. There's a flag right here. So this is the SSH flag. There's another flag right here, which is our web server flag. So we got that right at the very beginning. What else do we need? There was a port less than 10,000 that we needed for the web server. There's a port more than 10,000 that we needed. And this is some detailed information about, this is just jargon to me. I have no idea what the hell this means. I do know that it's on port 139 and port 22 and port 445. Like that part I kind of get. But from there, the rest of it, I really don't understand. There, it's the service fingerprint. So that's kind of what we can get. Then what do we got? We got the host script results. So these were the scripts that were ran against this thing. So no unique flags here, no unique statistics. Port 9744, 8611, 30,000, 126, 15,063. And SMB security mode, so on and so forth. And then we got, what else do we got? I think that's pretty much it, and that answers most, or not most, but a good number of the questions. So let's go here and see what we can answer here real quick. So less than 10,000, I'm gonna say it's 8080, yep. And then it's above 10,000, and so the one above 10,000 was, what was it? It was 10,021. There's that. How many TCP ports are open? So we could just count that. So we got TCP, 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 TCP. That's, what is that? That's 4, 5, 6. We got 6 TCP ports that are open. The flag in the HTTP server, which is going to be this one, which is in the HTTP server. So that's our flag for that. I'm going to copy that. And just like that, we run it. And then the flag in the SSH server, which is also right here. Very quick and easy, just like that. And we have an FTP server listening on a non-standard port. What is the version of the FTP server? So let's go. I believe this was the non-standard port for the FTP. Yeah, so the 10,021. This is the non-standard. It says FTP. And so the version is this thing right here. So VSFTPD 3.03, and there's that. All right, we learned 2 usernames using social engineering. It's going to be Eddie and Quinn. And what is the flag hidden in one of these 2 accounts, accessible via FTP? And what we found earlier is that there's an open port outside of the common ports, and it's for FTP, and that is the 10,021 port. So what we're going to do is we're going to use both of those users specifically to be able to make this happen. And I already added them to a file called users.txt. So we just have both of them in here. That way we can run the scan against both of them. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to use Hydra. L for the login is going to be users.txt. P for the password is going to be the password file. So users share word lists, and that is rocku.txt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our specific port, or not port, excuse me, the IP right here, which is the 10.10.240.133, and we want to make sure that it's FTP, so we'll do that, and then 10.10.240.133, and then we'll assign the actual uncommon port number, the 10,021, as the port number. And just like that, we now have our command to make this happen. So let's run it for very verbose and press enter, and let's see if we find anything. Hopefully this won't take forever, but it might. so let's see what we can get here. Okay, so while this is running, since it's going to take a while, we are going to do the exercise, and as you can see right here, this is literally just barely getting to the 4,000 range of the password attempts, and there's 14 million passwords, so hopefully this won't take forever, but I have a feeling it's going to. And usually it displays whatever it finds onto the screen, and there's been a couple of times that I've looked away from the screen, which means if it did show the actual result, I may have probably missed it, so I might have to just wait for this whole thing to finish. So whenever you do run this for yourself, make sure that you keep an eye onto the screen just in case there is one of the responses or one of the passwords that pops onto the screen. But anyways, while this is running, I am going to do the challenge that is for the last question, saying that there's something that displays a challenge when you go to the web browser and go here. And it says your mission is to use Nmap to scan the IP address and as covertly as possible and avoid being detected by the IDS. And that just requires for us to run a new Nmap scan. And I'm going to show you what option we would end up using to make it a little bit more covert. So if we go to the manual, just do man Nmap and then go to the options, there's something called the SN option. So if we go and try to find it right here, scan techniques, you have SN, and then if I just show you what that actually is. So this is the option for SN, which is TCP null, and it kind of gives that in the manual. But Bard, or I guess now it's called Gemini, which is the Google AI, super friendly to use. I love using this thing because I can ask it full questions, and instead of having to sift and sort through information that is on the internet, it can just kind of pull that information for me. So the TCP null scan scans packets with the TCP header information filled in, only the TCP header information, and no actual payload. And the target does not respond to these packets. So the scan relies on observing the target system behavior. Purpose is to identify without generating a full connection or response. It relies on a target host behavior. When receiving null packets, some operating systems might reset the connection, silently drop the packet, respond with the RST packet. It's faster than a full TCP connection. It doesn't involve a handshake, and it can bypass certain intrusion detection and prevention detection that might trigger a full connection scan. So that's kind of the big benefit to this, is that we can actually run it and hopefully avoid being detected. So if we go here and just do nmap and then do SN and then just do the IP address, hopefully it'll run and it'll do it for us. And then from here, we can look at whatever the potential result might be. And the password scanner is still running in the background. Did we get anything? No, we haven't gotten anything yet. And we just crossed 5,000. So got a long way to go for that. And I'm not looking forward to waiting this entire time for this. But it is what it is. Maybe I can try to record another video while this is running in the background to try to make the most use of my time here. So I'm going to run here, and let me see if I do reset. Packet count reset, 0% chance of being detected, 9% chance of being detected, 14%, okay. Okay, there you go. Exercise complete. Task answer is this. So not a bad result here, which is low detection. My God, I can't even copy this fully. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna copy the full thing, and then I'm going to delete the rest of it. And then now all we have to do is just wait for the last answer, which is getting the password for Eddie and Quinn and then actually logging into their accounts. And in this particular case, it's just, I feel like I just got to wait it out. I just got to sit here and actually wait it out and see what we can find at the end of all of this. Because so far it has not shown me a password, and we're nearing 6,000 attempts here. So we'll see how it runs at the end of all of this. I could always just go and find the password online from different people that have done it, and that might be the more effective way. But I've never actually ran a Hydra scan all the way to the end, so I want to see what it's going to look like if this runs all the way to the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this one. Pause this recording. I'm going to try to go and record another video while this is happening, and then come back to this, and we'll see what we can do in the interim. I might edit the last video that we made. I'm just going to try to be as as productive as I can be while this is happening. So we will come back to this when it is done. All right, so we got the first one. It's vanished off the screen now. It is now at, what is it? I think it's like 18,000, 19,000 attempts right here. But it was the password for Mr. Eddie, and it was Jordan, Jordan. And so the command is basically FTP, the IP address, and then the port that we found, which is 10021. And then it asks you, okay, who's the name that you want to use to log in, and it's Eddie. And then the password, it doesn't show it on the screen, but it's Jordan, all lowercase. And then from here, we are able to try to see if we can find what's going on his desktop. So let's see if we can do an ls command. Port command successful. Consider using PASV directory. Here comes the directory listing. Directory. Consider using PASV. So passive. Okay, let me see. I think I need to put this into the mode where I can actually run the ls command and everything like that. So let me see what that version was real quick. Okay, so this is from the last protocol and server room, and this is the way that they got into the FTP server. And we can also use the FTP version like this and then do the login. And then from here, it automatically let them do the ls command. But for me, it did not let me do the ls command. So I recommend that I was supposed to use passive mode. And so I'm going to try this one more time, and I'm going to try it in this manner. And let's see what we can find here. Okay. And then so user is going to be Eddie, and pass is going to be Jordan, and login has been successful. So now I can do the command that was here, which is passive, or I guess let's do syst to see if that'll work. And it does work. Okay, great. So now let's do passive to put ourselves in passive mode. Great. And now let's do type A. Switching to ASCII mode. Does ls work here? No, it does not work. So it does not work in this version. So let's quit, and let's try one more time to go back to the FTP server like so. The name is going to be Eddie, and the password is Jordan. Logged in, very good. And I should be able to run ls. I don't understand why it's not letting me run ls. Let's see here. Okay, I think this is actually an empty directory, so maybe that's the issue, is that wherever we are, does print working directory work? It's the current directory. So I think that's the issue here, is that this is an empty directory. We can't go to change the directory. The question is asking us, where is it? The question is asking us, what is the flag hidden in any of these two files and accessible via FTP? They both have that. I don't know. So, okay. Maybe Quinn is the one that has the flag. Let me see if there's anything else that I can do to try to navigate across this FTP server here. Okay, from what Google just said, we could use the list command and look for, I guess, something called flag. So let me see if I could do that. List command flag, and then invalid command. So list invalid command. So that's definitely not it. Let's see if I can do ls and flag, and let's see if that works. And there's nothing in there. So I think that doesn't work. So, okay. All right. I'm going to have to wait to see if I can find the password for Quinn. It hasn't shown up, and we'll see if we can find the password for Quinn. And then once the password for Quinn comes in, we will go ahead and try this whole thing again with Quinn's username and see if we can find anything in his portal. All right, and we actually were able to do it. So Quinn's password is Andrea, ANDREA. So let me just verify that one more time. It was here, this Quinn, yeah, ANDREA. Yeah, okay. So ANDREA is his password, and that's the flag. So now we can try to download this, I want to say. I wonder if I can do secure copy from FTP or if I could just read it. So let's see how we can get access to that flag. All right, there is a way that I heard that you can download it, but I think there's also a way to just list it from what I read. So ftp flag.txt, will that work? No, that does not work. Okay, so I gotta download it onto my local machine. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so it was actually as simple as just doing get. And so what was it? This is the get command. And it said it's successful, and it just downloaded onto my terminal. I'm gonna stop this thing from running because this thing is just still going nuts here. Let's just stop this from running. We can do Control C on this one. And there's that. Let's clear this screen and let's do an ls. There we go. There's our flag right there. And so let's just cat this mofo, and voila, we got our flag. That took a while. So just for your information, you now have the usernames and passwords, and there is that flag. So what was it? The password for Eddie was Jordan, and the password for Quinn is Andrea, and they're both lowercase. And just like that, you were able to receive the flag, and that's how we logged into the FTP server. And now we can quit out of the FTP server, and I am done with this particular room. I actually was able to record an entire other video for vulnerabilities from the vulnerability research. We did the vulnerabilities 101 room while I was waiting for those passwords to get here. So, so that took a minute, but it is done. And now we can freaking move on to the end of this challenge, or just a summary of the challenge. So let's do that real quick and wrap this one. In summary, congratulations, we finished. That's basically the summary. So congratulations to us. We did finish it, and I'm very, very excited that we were able to finish it. And now we can move on to our next video in vulnerability research. Since I've already done the introduction to vulnerabilities, we can talk about exploit vulnerabilities, and that should be fun too. If you were able to learn anything from this room, hopefully this actually helped you a little bit in your process, then definitely go ahead and drop a comment. If you have any questions, drop a comment. If you're continuing down the pen test pathway or ethical hacker or anything like that, then I would love to have you as a part of the community, because that's all we talk about here. So go ahead and like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you get notified the next time that a video will come out down this pathway, and we can learn together, we can grow together, and we can become hackers together, ethical hackers. We can become ethical hackers together. So hopefully you learned this, and yeah, definitely drop any questions or comments that you have. I will do my very best to answer your questions in a timely manner, but I always answer all of the questions that come in, and I do some pretty detailed answers. So let me know in either case. Hopefully you enjoyed this one and you learned from this room. It's your boy Hank Hackerson at Hank Hacks Hackers, your favorite network and system attacker. And I love to have you here. It's always fun to hang out with you and go through some hacking exercises. Peace, love, and chicken grease. If no one else loves you, Hank loves you. I will talk to you in the next room. Later.